Hello all. In this lecture we are going to learn about the absorption as key to the welding efficiency. What is absorption? Absorption is the fraction of the instant laser light which is absorbed by the workpiece. The absorption level is not a steady factor but a function of laser and metal properties, which you can see in this diagram. So for power density, the material property is composition and the process parameters is the welding speed. So the laser properties which influence the absorption rate is, laser properties includes power density, wavelength, polarization, angle of incidence, and the material properties which is going to influence absorption process is composition, temperature, roughness, surface quality, which includes oxide layers and dust, etc. And the process parameters which is going to influence the absorption process is welding speed, focal point position, focal point size, and shielding gas. There are several different mechanisms of beam absorption by a workpiece. Basically, in laser beam welding, where laser energy can deeply penetrate the material via the keyhole, the energy absorption process is described by two mechanisms. First one is the Fresnel absorption, and second one is inverse Bremsstrahlung absorption. The first mechanism refers to the beam absorption at the solid liquid surface of the material on the keyhole wall, and the second one takes place in the partially ionized plume of vapor in the keyhole. These mechanisms are well described in many research papers. So a number of comparative studies and simulation investigations of previous research, that is of Fresnel absorption and multiple reflections in the keyhole, have been carried out in recent years. One of the researchers analyzed factors affecting the keyhole formation and distribution of the laser intensity in the keyhole, and he noticed that the laser energy is not uniformly distributed on the walls of the keyhole, but it is concentrated in the region near the front keyhole wall. Also, one of the researchers has provided as in-depth analysis of the modulation of the absorption mechanism and influence of the surface roughness, wavelength, and process parameters on the absorption level. From the previous equations which you learned in the previous lectures, that the welding efficiency can be enhanced if the absorption can be increased, and as possibility of varying the laser parameters is usually limited in workshop condition. So based on the previous research carried out, the absorption improvement methods that can be divided into three categories, which we are going to deal in the next section, and which are divided into three lectures. So these three categories can be divided into three groups, that is edge surface modifications, preheating techniques, and ambient conditions modifications.